Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women in America, and the Go Red for Women in the Capital Region is always such a well-attended event because so many people are aware of that statistic. Our Sabrina Dami will MC this luncheon. It's coming up on Thursday, October 30th. But the guest of honor at that luncheon is in our studio right now in the third hour.
Yes, thank you for being here with us. Erin Vickers, you are a survivor and you are the honoree for this year's Go Red for Women luncheon. First, I want to ask you, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Yeah, it's what a difference a year makes is what I'd say. Physically, I'm much better. It's more of the mental journey at this point, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, and if you want to share some of your story, I know what started as something maybe mild turned into something more.
Yes. So years ago, I was diagnosed with a level 1 heart block, which is something that a lot of people are actually walking around with and don't even know it because it causes no symptoms.
I read in your 2018, doctors said, probably not going to be that big of a deal, cause that many issues. But I'm thinking to myself, a level 1 block sounds pretty serious, but it's more common than we would think.
Yes, and well, back then they said that, and I said, great, not going to think about it. And then during my second pregnancy, I experienced dizziness, which when you're pregnant, you do get dizziness. But this was my second pregnancy. I kind of knew my body and knew what to expect, and I knew it wasn't normal. And I ended up passing out a couple of times. Had to push doctors to say, you know, something is really wrong. This is not a symptom of pregnancy.
Right, and as a mother, how scary was that for you?
Terrifying, because at that moment, you know, I had my daughter, and then I was also pregnant. So I'd be driving around, I'd be dizzy, I could pass out at any time. And then I have my unborn son that I obviously cared about protecting, so it was scary.
What would your message be, not to give away your speech on Thursday, October 30th, but what would you say to women who maybe they are aware of a blockage, maybe they aren't? What would you say to them about heart health and again, so many of these cases, being your biggest advocate?
Yeah, I mean, a couple things that I've been saying when I do share my story is that taking charge of your health is advocating for yourself. If you feel like you haven't been heard, or if you feel like your symptoms are being dismissed and not taken seriously, you need to advocate. But part of advocating is also being knowledgeable and taking your own responsibility and knowing what your risk factors are, knowing what you need to do preventatively to make sure you don't end up in a situation, which I actually kind of thought I did do all of that. I'm very healthy, but even then it still can happen. So just having that awareness and having that knowledge really.
Yeah, such an important message to share, of course, and I'm sure you're looking forward to the Go Red for Women luncheon coming up on the 30th. How special is it to you to be the honoree?
I feel very honored that I was asked, but if I'm being completely honest, I contemplated saying, no thank you, because I don't really like talking about this.
Well, we forced you on live TV,
yeah, right. So, I mean, but I'm here talking about it. I feel very honored to be at the luncheon and able to speak more, because this message needs to be heard. One life saved is enough and worthwhile to me. I don't want someone else going through, what I did, the fear and the risk to my children, being motherless, my husband having no wife. So it's worth it. But it is not something that was at the top of my list to talk about.
Right. Yeah, and I can imagine why. It's so emotional, right? But it is also so important to share your journey, and like you said, just to tell people how important it is to keep track of their heart health. This event is so amazing. I went last year, as you mentioned, Chris, our Sabrina Dami has emceed this event many times. Beautiful event, always such a great turnout, and the messages, the stories that are shared are just so impactful.
Agreed.
I see you still get emotional a little bit talking about your experience, and you say today you're doing well. Why do today, even though knowing you're healthy and in a good place, does it bring you back to those emotions of when you were struggling a little bit?
Yeah, so my son just turned 2, and during this heart surgery process and the symptoms that were happening, I kind of missed his first year. I mean, yes, I was here for his first year, but I couldn't hold him because after the surgery, you can't hold any weight. So I still feel awful about that, even though he's fine. But as a mom, not being able to hold your newborn son, it's like a nightmare. And then also just going through my daily life now, I have an ICD device, keeps my heart working, which is great. It's like a guardian angel, but at the same time, I do feel it go off sometimes. So it's that's jarring.
A reminder, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like, hey, yeah, remember your heart doesn't really work that well. So that doesn't feel great, and I have to just adjust my mindset, with that.
And people looking at you, they don't know that, which is so, with heart disease and those issues, like it's not always physical, obviously, so
Right.
important.
That is true. Yes, I have said I'm what heart disease can look like. So you shouldn't
Be any of us.
Exactly, anybody.
Yep.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story with us.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
The Go Red for Women Luncheon is being held on Thursday, October 30th, and tickets are still available. We'll make sure we have the information for you on our website, WNYT.com.